Better Call Saul, the greatest TV series on planet Earth, yes, better than Breaking Bad,
No, my man.
is coming to an end in less than a month with only 4 episodes left. Ever since Season 5 ended and the seeds for Kim's nefarious scheme against Howard were planted, I started manifesting a theory for how the show would eventually end. I didn't have very much evidence to support my theory back then, besides a couple of potential hints and just my own personal feelings, but in the last few episodes we've gotten, I'm starting to think that my theory could actually pan out. Now before we begin, I just want you to remember that even though I do have more evidence to support my take than I did before, this is still entirely speculation. If there's one thing you can rely on these showrunners to do, it's to subvert expectations and take you on a wild-ass ride you could have never seen coming. So who knows, this video is either going to age like fine wine, or it's going to age terribly. But honestly, to me, not knowing only adds to the fun. So here we go. Remember that little black and white teaser that we got after plan and execution before the show went on a brief hiatus? You know, the one that went like...
So, after all that, a happy ending.
At first, I wasn't really sure if that was supposed to be a teaser for the next episode or just a tease as to the rest of the show in general. However, now I've started to look back on that clip a little differently. We've gotten 2 episodes since the show's return so far, at least at the time of recording this video. Point and Shoot and Fun and Games. At the end of the former, Point and Shoot, we got another one of those little black and white teasers.
One day we'll wake up and we'll brush our teeth and we'll go to work. And at some point we'll suddenly realize that we haven't thought about it at all.
And in the next episode, Fun and Games, that exact same snippet of dialogue is spoken to Kim by Jimmy. So clearly that was a tease for the next episode. And at the end of Fun and Games, we have another one.
And ready, set, action! Move, move, move! Go, go, go! 1, Armani suits and run! 2, Air Jordan shoes for you! 3, linen shirts for free! 4, cashmere sweaters out the door! Let's go, let's go, let's go!
Now, we pretty much know for certain that the next episode, titled Nippy, is going to be a Gene episode. If not because of the suggestive title, then definitely because of the departure from the X and Y style titles. So I'm pretty confident in concluding that this clip is a tease for the next episode, much like the last one was. My point in all this is that I think that first black and white tease from Plan and Execution, in which Jimmy talks of a happy ending, is in fact a tease for the show's finale. Furthermore, I think that he's talking to Kim in that clip. Let me elaborate. At this point, the show has made a certain connection pretty clear, if not coated in the thinnest layer of subtlety. Kim's hometown is in Nebraska, and so is the Cinnabon that Gene runs. And let's revisit that crushing scene at the end of Fun and Games, right before the time jump to full-fledged Saul Goodman. Kim finally comes clean to Jimmy and implores him to come to the realization that they are a destructive couple to the people around them. They break up, and that's the end of them. In one heartbreaking fell swoop, Kim and Jimmy are over, and we get an abrupt cut to Saul Goodman in full swing in what we can only assume is the Breaking Bad timeline. A timeline in which the name Kim Wexler is never uttered even once. So that's the last of her then, right? Except I doubt it. There's no way. Kim is too important of a character to have that breakup scene be her last. Don't get it twisted. It was a phenomenal scene and I loved it, but there's absolutely no way we've seen the last of her. Which brings me into the specifics of my theory. In the breakup scene, we see Kim packing her bags and we can only assume she's moving back to her hometown. Even though there's nothing concrete to indicate as such, that's just what makes the most sense to me. So here's what I think the closing moments of this series are going to entail. I honestly have no idea how Gene is going to resolve his current dilemma with Jeff the cab driver, but one way or another he will. Assuming that he comes out the other side alive and still anonymous, he will likely resume working at Cinnabon and try to forget that any of this ever happened. And I think him and Kim are going to reunite. When I told this theory to my girlfriend, I was pretty specific in how I thought the moment would play out. I said Gene would be focused on some job-related task like putting icing on a bun or, kneading some dough. And we would hear Kim's voice off screen say his name.
Timmy?
And then he would look up, see her, and the scene would fade to color. Now, I'm extremely doubtful that I just predicted the exact camera angles and shot choices correctly. That's just how I envisioned the reunion in my head, but I'm almost certain that there is going to be a reunion. I had this prediction, like I said, at the end of season 5, because I thought that whatever she was planning for Howard was going to go south, and she would have to disappear, and that's how we would meet the vacuum guy, and then she would go back to her hometown. That's what I thought would happen. Now, of course, a few of those details can change now that we know more of the story. But regardless, now with the black and white teasers and the way Kim's story ended in the current Better Call Saul timeline, I'm starting to feel pretty confident that I'm right in my prediction. That line about a happy ending uttered in the tease after plan and execution, in my opinion, makes perfect sense as something Jimmy would utter to Kim after not seeing her for years and years, and for their last moment together having been that crushing breakup, especially considering everything that happened to lead to the breakup. But anyway, that's my theory. Again, entirely speculation, but I do think I've got some solid evidence to support my prediction. Well, what do you guys think? You think I'm close to the mark? You think I'm pretty far off? What are your thoughts as to how the series will end? And as always, thank you for watching.